Be blessed by the divine. Be blessed by the divine. Be blessed by the divine. O my Guru, gracious, I owe my all to you. Wishing you all a very good morning and happy to see you all with this new topic today. People who tried some new property purchase might have experienced this. We used to hear a lot positives before seeing that, right? It is just 2 minutes drive from the airport. It's just walkable from any famous landmarks like hospital, college, or school. But after seeing that property, the reality could be way different, right? Today's topic is not such a false promise, possibly very close to the reality you will be able to feel after around half an hour of discussion today. Way to become God. Shikar, the brochure is appearing, right, Shikar sir? Okay, I believe you could see the brochure. Yeah, way to become God. In Tamil movie, there was an old movie song, Manidan Enbavan Deivamagalam, which means that man can become God. When it is phrased as man, it includes woman also. So for our discussion, we will keep that as human. Human can become God. Since it is a movie song, it was just seen by many of the people as a wild imagination or like a virtual dream, which means that it cannot be done in reality. That is what most people will be feeling. But if you think deeper about those lines, it has got some kind of philosophical fact behind that. Only the human being, among all living creatures, only the human being can think and analyze about the origin of our life, how we got originated, and what is the connectivity with the totality. If you are considering ourselves as fraction, so what is the connectivity with the totality? These all could be done only by human among all living creatures. So that is the philosophical meaning hiding behind that song. Many of the philosophers and even almost all the religions are talking about this as the primary objective of our life, of every human being's life. And also some conceptual practices are also developed and given to us through the religions as well as some of the philosophers, how to achieve that also. But again, if you see the real situation around us, many people around us are still struggling, right, even to understand this concept. And then following up the practices which are developed by the people who achieved to that stage. So that is what the reality is. Most of the people, one way we couldn't even understand the concept, and other way we couldn't move forward with enough clarity towards that objective of the life also. And in general, we used to hear another thing also: when someone passed away, he or she attained peace. He merged with the divinity. That's what we used to term, and we used to hear that, right? So that's naturally happening. So we all originated, we took birth by coming as a fraction from the totality. So in nature, like we are part of the nature, so we got fractionated from nature, and then at the end of our life we will be merging with the nature as the process, natural process. But one way we are telling that only the human being has got the ability to analyze and think and enhance or elevate the consciousness which is within themselves. So, can anything could be done when we are living itself? There's no point in achieving big achievements of merging with divinity after our death, right? It's again, it's going to be happening for everyone naturally. So while living itself, can we do something? When we think in that point of view only, our simplified Kundalini Yoga system stands strong as one of the systematic practice to achieve this. Every human can become God, which is the divine state. And our system stands strong in this because our Guru Sri Vedatri Maharishi has given a clear definition. As usual, everything, all the philosophical concepts are simplified and given to us by him, right? So as like other concepts, here he gave a very simple formula and a definition for human and God. He is telling that human is equal to God plus impurities. So from there he is arriving what is God. God is equal to human minus impurities. So when the impurities from the human, when it is removed, when it is shed off, we can become God. So by this simple formula or statement, it is made very clear to us that every human being can become God. But having said that, it cannot be done just by understanding that words only. We have to know what are the impurities first, right? And also how to remove them. Is it possible to remove all the impurities? And what are the nature of that impurities? When you know what are the impurities, we need to understand how they came to us and what are the nature, what it does to us. Then only by having all this understanding, we can try to work on removing it from ourselves. So those steps also given by our Guru. He didn't even just tell what are the impurities. He gave full-fledged practice in removing those impurities also. The three impurities, I can say it is like a three main categories in which all the impurities we are talking about will be coming under. So the three impurities, what he is stating is ego, sin imprints, and illusion. Illusion is also known as Maya, right? Let us talk about one by one about these impurities, the nature of impurities. As I was telling, once we understand clearly about these impurities, then only we will be able to work on removing them, right? So we will start with the first one, ego. Even though only three letters there, it is one of the significant impurity which ending up with all kind of problems in our practical life. It is not only a religion or philosophy talking about that. Today, the leadership programs or organizations also talking about this quality. This is one of the quality which should not be there with the leaders, because we will be having lot of problems because of this. What is the end result of it? When the ego is exhibited at the highest level by any person, when he is behaving with egoistic nature, he will be ending up losing all the near and dear around him. So nobody can go near him, and the love and affection which is originated from our near and dears will not be experienced at all by that person. So that is the end result of this impurity. So that is the reason, even it is not only on the personal life or philosophical or spiritual progress, it is seen even by the organizations that it should not be there for the leaders. So the healthy working culture will not be there. So that is the reason they are also talking about that. Again, we might have heard about many explanation or definitions for ego. Again, our guru giving a simple, by a single word in Tamil, he is phrasing the ego as Irai Maradi, which means that forgetting the divine state. So that is the word he is using to mean ego. So when that word is given to us as Irai Maradi, it is not only meaning it is not only providing the meaning of ego, it's also touching the root cause of ego, why the ego is being exhibited. So when we are forgetting the divine state and thinking that everything is being done by us and we are governing the things and we are deciding, we are executing, and everything is being done by keeping self as a primary focus. So that is the problematic situation, right? I was telling earlier. The ego. Just 1 minute, I have some screens issue. Okay, so that is the reason the ego is considered as one of the primary impurity which has to be removed, because we will be losing all the relationship, all our near and dear ones and our friends, and all this is expanding gradually and we will be left alone. So that is not a healthy atmosphere, because we also know that human being is a social animal, right? We are all living like a society, part of the society. We cannot be as independent on our own, because everything cannot be made by us. So that is the reason we have to be always part of the society. So this ego will keep far away from the society. So that is the reason we need to understand the nature of it and understand the reason of this quality and how to remove that we will come to the later part. So with this I will go to the second one, which is talked about sin imprints. So when we say imprints, we are all doing some kind of activities, right, by our thought or deeds. Always, every hour we used to do continuously on our day-to-day life, which is producing some result. If you talk about some example, we are doing some exercise, physical exercise. So that gives some result to us, right? By doing the exercise on every day in the morning, we are getting some first physical fitness, and better feel physically. We can have some good flexibility on our physical health, and we will be able to move properly and do all physical movements comfortably. So that is the result we are getting by that activity. So that result will not go away or disappear from us, right? So similar to that activity, every activity, right, from the thought or deed, what we do, it is being recorded within us as an imprint. The act is producing some result, so that activity and the result both are recorded as an imprint within us. So Maharishi is terming that it is recorded in our genetic center, and whenever we go to the same frequency, the same mental frequency, that imprint will get evolved again from us and coming as a thought. So again, that thought will drive us to do the same activity or whatever. So this is the way the mind is functioning. That is what the explanation given by him. So when we talk about the sin imprint as an impurity, so all the imprints which are recorded, they have positive and negative results, right? The example what we talked, the exercise, it's creating a positive result. So similar to that, some of the activities which we do with knowing or without knowing, which can create some pain to others, that will be creating some kind of sin imprint that is also being recorded within us. So it is not only by our act, the sin imprints are starting since birth. It is not only through our life, right? From our parents and ancestors, before even human being evolved, the other living beings are in this world. And before that, the nature only there, right? So from all this, we are getting a share of imprints. So the animal qualities are playing a major role in having a sin imprint as an initial stock with all of us. So we all came, when we took birth itself, we are having some set of sin imprints within us. So the objective is to remove all those sin imprints so that we will be able to progress spiritually and we all can become God once all these impurities are removed. So coming back to sin impurity, sin imprints. So these are the or reasons how we got sin imprints. One is from before our birth itself, from other living beings and all our previous ancestors. From that side, we are getting one set of sin imprint. And also in our life, as I was mentioning earlier, with knowing or without knowing, when we do some kind of activity which created pain to others, that also recorded as a sin imprint within us. So all these sin imprints have to be removed. Then only we will be able to achieve the life's objective. So again, another important factor in this sin imprint, since everything is recorded in the same genetic center, we can increase or we can, there are two ways, right? One is like we can remove all the sin imprints, or we can top up to dilute it with more and more positive imprints. So that is what we will talk about further when we talk about the removal of this set of impurities. Okay, so let's talk about third one also before we go to the removal part. The third one is illusion, right, which is termed as Maya to understand. So when we talk about illusion, this is one of the dangerous impurity. Compared to other two, we can't even realize that we are having that. It's something like a person sitting in a room alone, seeing through the window, always outside, and he was sharing to a friend that Always when I appear through the window, the other street when I'm seeing it appears very dull and hazy. So all the day it appears to be in that. Then that friend was telling him, first clean the window glass, then you will be able to see the reality. Then when he has tried that, he was seeing totally a different picture. The bright sun and the day and night changes, all these are seen through the same window which we couldn't see him earlier. So this is something similar to the illusion. We cannot even realize that we are having that illusion. It is like a blanket which is covering us. So when we don't know something is hiding us from that, we will not be able to remove it, right? So that is the reason I was phrasing that as one of the dangerous impurity. And how this impurity came to us, this is lack of knowledge or lack of understanding, right? When like our window example, he didn't even realize that we are seeing through a window, so there could be something obstructing our vision. So he didn't work on that, or he didn't even realize that. So similar to that, when we talk about illusion, how it came to us is due to the less knowledge. So we have to keep on analyzing and thinking to improve the things, or improve the way of our deeds. Whatever we are doing, the activities, so we should analyze always, is it producing a positive result or no? Can I improve a better way of doing it? So if that change, small changes are not implemented on continuous basis, so we will not be having a progress, right? So that will be creating a stepwise improvement in our knowledge, so that we will be able to have a clear understanding. So that will be taking us to a stage of like Trikalanyan, we used to say that, right? So we have to see what is the present situation and what was our past experience we had in this similar experience, in the similar situation, what we did and what happened and what was the result. So that past has to be related, and then the future. If I change that based on the past experience, if I do something different now, what could be the result of this current situation when we come out? So that also the future has to be visualized. So at any point of time, we should be able to connect the past, present and future. So when we are able to, even though it appears like a complex process, when you are doing it practically, it will be automatically. Once you practice that doing, you will be able to practice that very easily, right? If you are taking a small example of the food, yeah, so you have eaten last week some kind of, okay, take for example some mushroom which created some kind of allergy to you, right? Today when you are sitting for food, in front of you somebody has served a mushroom prepared dish. So by seeing that, you have to relate your past experience and what you are going to do in this present situation, which can give you a better future for you. In future, you don't want ending up with the same allergic situation and going to the doctor. All those, whatever you have gone through, it has to come in your mind, and within a few minutes of this current present, you should be able to decide the plan, right? So this we used to do easily, right? So the same way we need to do, and we need to practice in all the problems, like right from the small issues and right from the big decisions which we make in our life. If we follow that, our knowledge level will be improving. And when you do that on a systematic practice, nature also will support you by providing all the necessary information to you on time. So you will be able to improve on the knowledge. So the illusion part will be removed gradually. So this is the nature of illusion and how to come out of it. So let us talk some elaborative way to remove all these impurities, how we can work on removal of these impurities. Again, talking about our Guru, he gave a simple definition we have seen, and he gave the list of impurities also, and he clarified how it came to us, right? And he didn't leave us to work on that alone. So he again gave a systematic practice to us by practicing that which will help us to remove all these impurities also. So just think about all the practices we learned in our Sky Yoga practices, right? Right from the exercises, you can relate to each practice, like exercise, the simplified physical exercises, and the Kayakalpa Yoga, and the meditation and the introspection. So when you see each one of them, what is their role in this impurity removal? So the three impurities which we talked about, these all practices are mainly addressing or helping us to work on the removal process, right? So when you do the physical exercise, the physical body is prepared well to support you all through the life to achieve the objective. And then the Kayakalpa Yoga, we know that is the unique practice which is addressing the healthiness of our life force, because the inner harmony has to be achieved first before we talk about the spiritual progress or the self-development or self-realization, whatever we term that, right? So that is the reason we are preparing ourselves with the basic practice of physical exercises, and then the Kayakalpa, and then the meditation. So meditation is helping us to create a harmony between the physical body and life force and mind. So these three are harmonized by these practices. Then we are learning the introspection, which helps us to handle the society around us, right from our people who are closely around us, right from the family and friends and all the colleagues. All this are seen as society, the entire society we are dealing with day-to-day basis. So the introspection helps us to have harmony in all situations. So by saying that, keeping in harmony all the impurities, think about the nature which we talked about, those impurities. So these practices will be helping to get rid of those impurities gradually. So we will be able to see a total transformation on our personality, which is gradually uplifting us towards the divine state. Then ultimately, after learning all these practices, the ultimate practice which is taught to us is Brahmanyan, right? The Brahmanyan practice, when you learn that, you will be able to be in a state where we can treat everyone equally. We can understand the connectivity of every one of us through the oneness, and the oneness which is divinity, right? How the divinity is residing in every one of us. So this all can be visualized easily when we finish that Brahmanyan practice. So with all these practices, we can realize that we are gradually, stepwise moved towards reaching to the state of divine, which is God. So in this moment of time, I just wanted to share one of our Guru's poem, as usual, which is the theme of this speech. I hope my screen is visible. Yeah, 3 shackles. Through imprints inherited and acquired by you, 3 are the stigmata that you bear today. The first is ego, sins come next, and forgetfulness is the third of the scars. If you seek to shed these shackles three and take to the path of liberation, you should curtail the little self and home in on the source of life by learning the practice of meditation and the ever virtuous code of conduct. Day by day would then taste the sweetness of freedom real. So all the points or all the half an hour discussion what we had so far is very well summarized in this poem, right? So in fact, this poem was the theme for this topic, which I just had a thought by seeing the poem and came to share with you all on this topic. So as Maharishi is putting in simple one-page poem, so all those are well explained to us, right? The ego, sins, and forgetfulness. These three are the major impurities which we need to shed in our life. These are the major three shackles holding us as human and separating us from the divinity which is within us. So when we shed these shackles, we will be able to home in on the source of life. That's what he is telling me. So we are getting uplifted from the current stage, and we will be able to enjoy the sweetness of freedom real. What is the real freedom that can be enjoyed by having this? And another important word I just thought of emphasizing in this poem is ever virtuous code of conduct. It's not only practicing that, right? Again, coming back to the discussion which we had some time back, quoting that all the Sky Yoga practices which were given is appearing to be simple. When we do that, we can see the result. But the consistent practice, that is one important factor which we all need to adhere, and also the ever virtuous code of conduct. This can be achieved by constant awareness. We used to talk, right? So illusion, when we talk about also, it is increasing our knowledge will remove illusion. That's okay, but we have to maintain the constant awareness. If that is not done, again we will not be able to be in that state constantly and enjoy the real freedom. So with this, I will conclude today, and also just thought of emphasizing how valuable our practices are. By doing these practices, definitely the human excellence is enhanced, and the personality is totally transformed, and it will move all of us towards God. So it is again a proven systematic practice by which we all can become God. Be blessed by the divine. Yeah. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Professor Mr. Anandaraja, for the wonderful lecture.